Are you looking for an athletic scholarship? You're in the right place. This is the Recruit Me Athletic Scholarship Podcast, the longest-running podcast on recruiting and athletic scholarships. We're here to help your family navigate the recruiting road all the way to an athletic scholarship. He's a recruiting expert and a dad of 2 college athletes. He has a wealth of experience to share. Here's Recruit Me CEO, Brent Hanks.
Welcome to episode 495 of the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is the world's longest-running athletic recruiting education weekly podcast that started in October of 2025 by the Recruit Me founder, John Fugler. I purchased Recruit Me from Mr. Fugler in June of 2020, and I have continued to provide potential student athletes and their families recruiting advice and guided tips to help you find that right fit college and sports program for you. Recruit Me can help you to reduce the time you spend, the money you spend, and the anxiety that comes with the recruiting process. This episode is called Big Changes in College Sports. Stay with the Basics. Last week's episode 495, was called Scholarship Limits and Roster Size Changes. These are just 2 major elements of change in the college sports world and in recruiting. Scholarship limits, roster size, NIL, extra years of eligibility, the transfer portal, new conference makeups, walk-on and preferred walk-on changes, and college sports revenue payouts not only affect the NCAA Division I level, but they all affect the upper-level P5 schools, and they affect the D1 mid-majors, the D1 lower-level programs, NCAA D2 schools, including the top 25 ranked programs to the bottom 25 programs, the NCAA Division III level, the NAIA level, and all levels in the junior college ranks. Unless you are following colleges or the non-D1 accounts on social media, you may only hear or see the D1 influences. Many posts and many recruiting service ads focus on the perceived 4 and 5-star rated potential student athletes. And the implications are that you need to get exposure early on social media by attending showcases and ID camps early and sending your videos out early to get on coaches' radars. For a vast majority of the student athletes and their families that I communicate with, they are not the upper-level 4-star and 5-star recruits. Recruit Me does work with D1 athletes, and I'll touch on how Recruit Me can help you get to D1 programs out of high school, D1 programs that fit them, or how they can climb the ladder of athletic levels to get to a D1 school. Today, let's work through how the Recruit Me Basics, the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship, work with all the aforementioned big college sports changes. I say all the time that if there are 1,000 student athletes, then there will be 1,000 different recruiting journeys. Just like hitting a baseball, or throwing a football, or shooting a basketball, or swinging a golf club, or performing a floor exercise in a gymnastic competition, there are basics or fundamentals that every athlete starts out with, and they work on throughout their development. These fundamentals create the base for that athlete to be successful, and to go back to when they get the yips, overthrow receivers, over-rotate on an element, or just can't get a hit or put the ball in play. When the basics are done well, then the athlete will develop their own style and hopefully accelerate past their competitors. Patrick Mahomes is famous for his no-look and sidearm throws, but he has to perform the basic sideline bullet too. Steph Curry shoots better than anyone from farther out than most, but he started by making layups and elbow shots. Paul Skeens throws it harder and with more spin than most pitchers, but he simply had to play catch with teammates before hitting the mound to dominate opposing batters. I hope you're getting the point. Basics are essential before greatness. To get recruited, you have to work on your athletic side, and you have to be a good or a great player to move from the high school ranks to any other level of the college ranks. So basics and fundamentals are important in the physical part of getting recruited. And just as a student athlete moves from their youth sports to junior high to high school sports, then to college, and even up to professional sports, the basics or fundamentals are still the backbone of an athlete's success. Many times, potential student athletes and their families, and even people wanting to help with recruiting, feel that the higher the level of the athletic programs that they could play for, the more complex the recruiting journey will be. They many times skip the basics, the fundamentals, the 7 steps that Recruit Me and the 3.0 system guide you through. And with all the recent college sports changes that I mentioned earlier, many potential student athletes want to jump past doing the basics. Recruit Me Step 1 is filled with basics needed to be done even in today's recruiting environment. Step number 1 is select the right schools to contact. I say there are two best times to start your recruiting journey. The first is the first day of your freshman year of high school, and the second is today. No matter when you start, early or late, whether you're from a small or a large school, a mediocre or an elite team, whether you're a JV player or a 4-star prospect, and no matter which sport you play, you should start with your parameters. A key to finding your best fit college at the right time. The Recruit Me 3.0 system has the parameters worksheet. The parameters worksheet should be filled out early by both the student athlete and the family, and they eventually will merge into one negotiated parameters worksheet. The worksheet is introduced by stating this: College Parameters Worksheet. Whether you are a freshman or an upperclassman in high school, making a parameters list is essential to building a school list and then contacting colleges. Use this worksheet to paint a picture of what you are looking for in a college experience. Do not use this worksheet just once. Revisit it often and learn and adjust your wants and needs for your recruitment. You may mark more than one in each category. It is your worksheet. Use it to help you to find your right fit. The parameters worksheet has these categories: type of school, location, distance from home, academics, majors and academic interest, yearly cost, types of financial aid, student population, other interest, sports levels, and sports preferences. Having your parameters will not only help you to build your initial list, but your parameters will help you to continually adjust your list and to contact the right coaches. And if you are already getting contacted by coaches, then it will help you to not just react to those contacts blindly, following every one of them. You can choose wisely, saving money, time, and anxiety. I have known student athletes that chased college visits and showcases that didn't fit their parameters, and they have even committed to schools that don't fit them. Because of this, many athletes decommit, transfer, or just quit. The parameters exercise is one that Recruit Me feels is the base for your recruiting pyramid. If you will email me, Brent, B-R-E-N-T, at recruit-me.com, and just say that you listened to episode 496, I will email you the parameters worksheet for free. Continuing on the basics, step 1, the parameters worksheet points you to the college school list worksheet. The Recruit Me college school list worksheet is broken into 5 sections with 10 spaces for 10 schools in each of the sections: junior college, NAIA, NCAA Division III, NCAA Division II, and NCAA Division I. You can write down the school's name, the city, the state, distance from home, and the conference. Without the Recruit Me college school list worksheet, student athletes skip the parameters worksheet and then fixate on schools that do not match their parameters or levels of play. The college school list wants you to dream high. But without it, the D1 or bust attitude or the I'm not good enough to play in college may seep in. The college school list worksheet encourages you to find and do some research on colleges of all levels, colleges you may not have ever heard of or thought of. This fundamental, like the parameters worksheet, is often skipped and sends student athletes and their families on a wild goose chase. These 2 worksheets help you to point down to a more direct path to your right fit choice. You are building a solid list to have ready to send your introductory email and player profile, which will be covered later. For these 2 worksheets, it doesn't matter what level you start at or what level you end up at, you need to implement the parameters and the college school list worksheets. These 2 are like shooting both right-hand and left-hand layups daily, and not just dunking the ball every time. They are like doing your footwork drills as a quarterback, running back, or lineman, or like just playing catch daily to improve your accuracy and your velocity when throwing the baseball. There are thousands of training products out there on the market for every sport, and many fancy training videos with technical advice. But without the basics, the base for fancy training methods may or may not help you. Use the parameters and the college school list worksheets to build a solid foundation to start with and to go back to as you maneuver through your recruitment. We are still knocking around in step 1 of the Recruit Me 7 Steps to an Athletic Scholarship in the Recruit Me 3.0 system. We are setting up for you to select the right schools to contact. Only waiting on schools to contact you is not a great strategy, but it is one that many fall to. Recruit Me wants you to have a plan, and gambling that coaches will just find you is not a good bet. A third worksheet that Recruit Me developed is the College Research Worksheet. This worksheet is a guide and a tool that walks you through finding important college and sports programs information for you to make an educated decision on who to send your information to and to eventually make the right fit choice. The worksheet gives you a place to record the college or the university name, the college's address, the distance from home, the mascot, the division or level of play, the conference, whether it is public or private, and the team colors. Then the head coach, the assistant coach, and the recruiting coordinator and any other coach's phone numbers, emails, or social media contacts. You can record the team's website and social media too. Then the worksheet has space for the team's win-loss records, the team's prominent opponents and travel schedule, and how many players are on the team and how many players are in your position, how many are seniors, juniors, sophomores, and freshmen. This research takes a little work, but if the student athlete does the work, they can learn and get a good feel for the school and if that school fits some of their parameters. Recruiting tools and services can charge you for some of this information, but if you use the many free tools like the NCAA.org, the NAIA.org, and the NJCAA.org websites, or AI to find team websites near you, or in your parameters, you can save yourself money and even some time. Step number 2 of the 7 steps is another basic that is overlooked. Today's athletes want to go straight to social media, and again, hope a coach or coaches see their videos and posts. Social media is a good tool, but the layer of personal contact can separate you from the hundreds of other athletes. Step number 2 is write a great introductory email. Your introductory email will be teamed with your player profile and will be sent to schools on your list at the appropriate times. Yes, I said times, because you might send your duo to a junior college, NAIA, or Division II or Division III schools first, as your credentials fit them, and not send them to the D1 level yet. Your player profile information will tell you when to start sending to college coaches. There are basics within the basics that we are talking about today. The basics of your introductory email are: number 1, make it your email. The communication piece must come from the athlete, because that's who the coaches want to build a relationship with. We encourage parents to help craft the content, but make sure it is from the athlete. Number 2, make it brief. The email should only be 4 to 5 paragraphs long. Limit it to 1 page. Number 3, choose your words carefully. You shouldn't just write whatever comes to your mind. In fact, you really need to choose your words carefully so you communicate key elements and get the coach's attention and get his or her response. Number 4, tell the truth. You need to be truthful and accurate. Don't overinflate your accomplishments. And number 5, be interesting. You must communicate with the kinds of things that will get the coach's interest and make him or her want to know more about you, enough that they write you back. The 3.0 manual walks you through building your introductory email and gives you examples. Your introductory email is your initial handshake to coaches. I've mentioned the player profile, which is step number 3 of the 7 steps to an athletic scholarship. Step number 3 is create your 1-page player profile. If the introductory email is your initial handshake with a college coach, then your player profile is your resume. Much like when you look for a job, you would do research on the job, see how much it pays, check out the hours you would have to work, and your opportunities to move up in the business. The recruiting process is first research and then connect to try to get the job, or to get the opportunity to play for that college. The resume, or the player profile, tells more about your abilities and your achievements, both athletically and academically. The player profile is broken down into 10 sections. Section number 1 is your name. Section 2, a short headline that jumps off the page, like 87-mile-an-hour fastball and 3.6 GPA. Section 3 is your sport and position or positions. Section 4 is info about you and your family. Section 5 is your school, your club, and their coaches. Section 6 is your physical information, like height, weight, strength, and speed. Section 7 is a narrative summary of your strengths, your team, and your league information, and other sports that you play. Section 8 contains specific stats and achievements that gives you an opportunity to brag about yourself. Section 9 is your potential, like what you expect to happen for your next year. And Section 10 is a picture of you. You can get a free player profile template by signing up for the free Recruit Me Power Pack from Recruit Me on the recruit-me.com website. The player profile is the indicator of when to send your information to college coaches. What I mean is that when you can fill out the player profile template with impressive information about yourself and your achievements, then you can send it to college coaches. You don't have to have all conference or all state credentials to build your player profile. By not having those credentials, you might be more qualified to send to the D3 or the NAIA colleges on your college school list. My oldest son had many accolades and a lot of varsity playing time after his sophomore year of high school, and he was able to fill out his player profile easily and quickly to send his introductory email, player profile, and videos to D2 and D1 coaches right before his junior year of high school began. My youngest son lost his high school sophomore year to COVID, played mainly on the high school JV team his junior year, and started about 3/4 of his high school games his senior year, so he didn't have many accolades to trumpet in his player profile. But he had his academics and test scores and GPA, he had videos from competitive summer baseball clubs, and he had baseball metrics like throwing velocity and above average speed to send to college coaches. Parker, my older son, parlayed his stellar high school and club baseball career into playing for a D1 school, Northwestern University, in the Big Ten Conference. And Sutton, my younger son, worked hard to get an opportunity to play at a high-level NAIA college, Columbia College in Columbia, Missouri. He's played there for the last 4 years. He's a senior this year. These basic tools, the parameter worksheet, the college school list worksheet, and the college research worksheet, all set up 2 other basics, the introductory email and the player profile. Engage with all of these as early as your freshman year of high school so that you can be ready for your go time as you become an athlete that will fit into a college program. Thank you for listening to the Athletic Scholarship Podcast. And join me next week for episode 497. That's an interview with Paige Tons, a mental training coach. The Athletic Scholarship Podcast is the world's longest running weekly athletic recruiting education podcast. And we are proudly sneaking up on the impressive 500th episode. Again, thank you for listening, and I'll see you next week.